have just been skyrocketing.
So, $200 is actually nothing to me because I paid $250 for Titanfall 2 Vanguard Edition, which wasn't even available at GameStop. You could only get it through the studio. So,
Really?
and I think I paid upwards of $400 for my Destiny 2 Collector's Edition. I have never missed a Destiny Collector's Edition in my life.
The
Me neither.
Titanfall 2 came with a lot of extra stuff, though, didn't it?
Well, it came with a wearable helmet plus attachments. There's the BT, which is the Titan mech. His voice is actually inside the helmet, so you just press a button and he has lines he runs through. There was like a whole a journal, a couple other like cards and all that about 6-4 and the other factions, and a scarf that came with it. And it's a really pretty collector's edition, and it was worth the $250. It was worth waiting forever for it to get here. But Destiny 2, the day it was announced, I couldn't get online fast enough to pre-order it. When I picked up my husband from work, I was actually in tears because I couldn't find it to pre-order anywhere, and I was not going to miss the collector's edition at all. So he actually sat with me for 2 hours, and we looked from Austin all the way up to Colorado for a Destiny 2 collector's edition. He found one in San Antonio, Texas. That's a 7-hour drive there and back. And that Best Buy wouldn't ship it, and they weren't doing a midnight release. So the day before, he drove me out there for 3.5 hours, stayed at a hotel, got up early. We waited in the Best Buy parking lot for an hour waiting for somebody to show up, picked it up, and then he drove me back day of release, 3.5 hours. And then I sat my happy butt down and played the game until I passed out. But that whole trip from between gas and picking it up and the hotel room was upwards of $400.
But it was an experience you'll never forget.
Oh,
Exactly.
It was the best trip because there's no major highway from here to San Angelo. So we were taking all these country back roads and seeing all these little tiny towns, and there was like storms on either side of us, but not over the road. So it was really pretty to go to the Texas countryside. It was awesome.
Gotcha. Nice. Well, that's an experience. I feel bad for Dr. Goku because anything electronic is got quite a tax on top of it.
Yeah, right now I think our dollar is at a third. One American dollar is $1.33 Canadian is $1 American.
Yeah, so like the $200 collector's edition for the Avengers is $265 for you up there,
plus tax.
Plus
and
the
shipping.
tax.
Which is
That's a lot
15%.
of Tommy Lee Jones dollars up there, isn't it?
Yeah. It comes up to $305
Oh,
Dang.
with tax. That's a big pill to swallow.
But you're gonna get it.
But free healthcare.
I'm not sure. I might just get the regular game because I don't see enough to get that physical collector's edition. And I've been seeing a lot of these new collector's editions that they don't offer that much stuff, but the price of games haven't gone up. Well, it went up here in Canada, but they haven't really gone up since the 90s.
Oh yeah, industry wide, we're looking at a lot of things are operating. All consoles. Newsflash: all consoles sell at a loss.
Yep.
Right, and a lot of games sell at a loss, so that they can. And this is why microtransactions are a thing, because they're selling at a loss so that they can pick it up on the back end.
And I know it's not going to happen, but raising the price a little bit to kind of get rid of some of those microtransactions or get more of the game in the game, I think would be beneficial to the consumer. But we all know that those big corporations are not going to do that.
No.
Because microtransactions work.
They're actually
Exactly.
making more money off of microtransactions than just
Yep.
raising the price.
Yep.
Now, granted, games should be coming out between 100 to 130 just because the amount of work that goes into it and having to keep up with inflation. We will never see that, but it honestly needs to be done. They need to just double the price, but they make more money off of microtransaction because it's like, oh, $5 here, $10 there. End of the year, you've spent maybe $300.
Well, just look at Fortnite.
Yep.
How much people will pay for a skin? What, some skins go for like $20?
The
Yeah.
season pass alone is like $10,
Right.
Mhm.
and that's what, once every 3 months they do a new season.
Every 2
Oh,
or 3. Plus,
yeah.
you have to pay for all those skins as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mhm.
I mean, let's not even get into the next console generation. Here's my prediction. Microsoft is going to win this generation of console wars.
I don't know, man. That's a big box.
No. Microsoft can operate at a loss because of the strength of xCloud and Game Pass.
Game Pass is their killer app, in my
Right.
opinion.
Between those two, if you sign up for Game Pass and xCloud is part of your service fee,
Mhm.
there is nothing PlayStation has that can compete with that. So Microsoft could operate at a loss and sell the Xbox One Series X, whatever they want to call it, for $300. And they're going to make that money back.
They're not. They're still going to sell an exorbitant price that I will never pay in my life because that is a big box. Why is the thing so
It-
big?
Well, you're
Well,
right.
It's a PC.
It's so
But there's
Pretty much.
there's a reason
It's a
nobody.
micro ITX PC.
We're literally looking at a standoff right now of who's going to release their price first, because Microsoft literally is holding all aces right now. Because whatever PlayStation puts out, Microsoft can go $1 less. They can prices right them, right?
But
They can, and they're going to make the money on that, on their services that they offer.
Because PlayStation Now doesn't compete with Game Pass.
It does not.
Not by a long shot.
At
But
all.
there's
No.
one thing PlayStation has over Xbox, and I will die on this hill if I have to.
Tread carefully.
I know. I'm just gonna say it because I used to play Destiny on both Xbox and PlayStation back in the day. I don't have people jumping into my PlayStation party like I did on Xbox, asking me if they can tap that or how much they slept with my mom or calling me all these names. I don't
okay,
deal with that on
okay.
PlayStation. I deal with that on Xbox, and I can't stand it.
No, and that's a numbers game, and that's a numbers game within your game. Look at the numbers of players in Destiny 2 per platform. PlayStation has that right now.
Yeah, it's because
So
they're
that's literally
winning
an
this
odds game,
generation.
yeah.
So Microsoft's going to try to swing it back on
Mhm.
their end.
And they're swinging hard.
Well, if they can get rid of the 12-year-olds that jump in this chat and just scream their head outs literally into the microphone, that's when they'll win my loyalty back.
Those are that's population numbers, because those players exist on PlayStation,
But I never see them. I only see them on
Right.
Xbox.
because you've got a 10-to-1 odds.
Well, my odds are a lot better
Right.
on PlayStation, so they
Right,
can
that-
take their giant box
right.
and just
Well,
go
no,
home.
that's what I'm saying. Right. No, I get you. I get exactly where you're coming from. There's douchebaggery everywhere.
Mhm.
But when you're at a 10-to-1 ratio, you're going to have an obviously better experience over on PlayStation. I'm a guy. I don't have that problem on Xbox.
I'm gonna do the consoles the same way I've always done. I'm gonna wait to see what exclusive games they come out with.
Destiny 3. It's going to be on the next generation.
God of War, the next God of War. Unless
Halo Infinite.
No,
I mean,
the
Assassin's Creed is going into Viking territory next, so that's going to be pretty big.
Yeah, these are all games I'm not interested in, but thank
Right.
you.
Destiny 3.
Well,
I'm a
other than
huge
Destiny 3.
single-player, story-driven game fan.
no,
I
and
always
again,
have been.
not to diminish. Like my wife has actively been trying to pick a new username because her name, just having her first name out there and being female, she's experienced so much issues with that she wanted to be Mrs. Nate Fu. She wanted to try to tie herself to my account just to get that stigma of being a girl gamer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get you, and that's a problem that all the platforms have to deal with.
One thing with that Sony has is they have the exclusives, but Microsoft just has the brand power and the financing behind it. So it's going to be an interesting generation for sure.
Sure, it will be.
Yeah, and Microsoft has the infrastructure.
Mhm.
Like, if there's anyone that's going to get it right, well, and chat's gonna get crazy again. If there are anyone that's going to have the infrastructure to make streaming gaming work, it's going to be Google Stadia and xCloud, Microsoft. Sony has no stake in backbone technology.
Yeah.
So unless
well,
they want
they
to
have
make,
the remote
unless they
play,
want,
but it's not that great.
well, but they're reliant on who, right? Unless Sony decides to partner up with Amazon, the only player left, they're not competing in the same arena as Google and Microsoft.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
Nintendo doesn't really have a cloud play, and they seem to do pretty well for themselves.
Well, Nintendo's Nintendo.
they
Yeah,
also have Nintendo
that's-
Switch, so
Then-
But that's
Then
the
take it
thing is
anywhere.
Sony's always going to have their fanboys like me, where Sony's I'm probably always going to have a PlayStation no matter what.
I
Sure.
don't think I've ever used the remote play for PlayStation as long as I've had one. I've never used it.
Me either.
It
Yeah.
it works well depending on what your internet connection is,
Right.
but it still increases a lot of lag. So you're playing off your console, streaming to the net, and then streaming back down to your device.
And here's my final take on streaming services, and this was one of those, like, Dr. Lupo did a demo of Stadia on his. He's got a gigabit connection, fiber to his house, dedicated for his gaming, and he had a horrible experience. I'm over here in Podunk, San Fernando Valley, on a residential cable service, and I'm having a beautiful, and I've seen the difference between my gameplay and his with the clicking the buttons and watching it. It's not a speed thing, it's a stability thing, and it's a location to your nearest backbone that's going to make your biggest difference on these streaming services.
We could sit here all night and just discuss.
I
this.
was gonna use that as an opportunity to go, okay, we can do this, but we gotta
Right.
move. All right, we are way
Yeah.
over time.
Yes.
We're gonna just start wrapping up right now. Colt, what can we look forward to in the near future, or in the future from you?
So, Bad Destiny Joke and Shaxx Innovation are going to keep going. They will be getting their own merchandise soon. Termino is in production. Episode 1 just wrapped, so it's now in post. It took like a month to go from concept to post, which was amazing for me. And episode 2's in production. We actually just had our first recording session right before I got on with you guys. Episode 1 will not release to the public until episode 6 is in production, because we're going to do it on a weekly basis. So we're going to release episode week by week, because I know you guys, you're just going to binge it, and then you're going to be like, oh, I've ran out of things to watch. So do it the smart
Nailed
way.
it.
So Termino will be coming out when it's ready, because I don't want to rush to guys. There's 53 people working on this thing from around the world.
Wow, that's a big project.
53 people working at Termino. The Red Jack Volunteer Network, which is volunteers on the Shaxx Innovation account. Literally, they're all called Red Jacks in their Twitter profiles. And they help reply to stuff that I just don't see because there's too many notifications. So that's still going. I'm actually setting up a legitimate structure for them. And then, now keep in mind, there's like 38 of them. And if you add on my mods for my Discord community, I have like 100 people employed under me. This is ridiculous.
And I legit wanted to join your Red Jack community, but between the Guardians, MH, the server, I did not want to burn myself out and do a disservice to either one of them. So
yeah. But I'm actually looking at setting up an LLC, nonprofit LLC with a friend under his company. So these Red Jack volunteers and the Termino cast and crew can
so
put
that guy
this
right there.
Yeah.
Knows everything about it.
Yeah. So they can actually put their work under me as legitimate experience on their resume. I can't pay them, but I can help them with this. So like Starcotic, who's my community manager for Termino, she can actually say, She was a legitimate community manager for an online community. That's the best I can do, and that's in the works right now with all that paperwork, and it's such a freaking nightmare.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Again, that guy right there. Yeah.
And then the
You
last
got a
thing,
question? I can probably answer it for you.
I'm probably gonna have to bug you a lot, dude.
I don't mind at all.
Trying to figure out which camera's which here. I'm poking you in the head.
But the last thing I'm doing is legitimate merchandise for my brand called Immersio. I'm making all the art and everything myself. It's going to be through Threadless. And all of this is to go under the LLC when it's made so I can have a legitimate business. So I did the math. If I can make $3,000 a month off of merchandise and anything else, I can quit my job and just do this full time.
That's awesome.
So that's what I'm working towards, because I can't do this crap anymore working for other people.
Sure.
I'll have a much better life if I'm working for myself. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. It's a lot on top of it's a full-time job and going to Krav Maga twice a week and trying to make Shaq's cosplay.
And that's why burnout is a real thing. And you
It
gotta take it
is.
seriously,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
You gotta take your time. But that's awesome. And again, thank you so much for coming on with us. It's
Yeah.
been an absolute blast. I mean, usually we don't go over time that much, but the conversation has just been so great and just like organic. Like everybody is just so passionate about all this. Oh
Are we
yeah.
gonna have to make a two-parter?
No. This will be a one. You know, I'll cut some of it down. Don't you worry. It'll mainly be me. Usually, like every time, my notes are Joe rambling, Joe rambling, Joe rambling, Joe rambling.
And this time you made a bunch of notes, and we went, nah.
Yeah, that went out the window. But tell us where we can find you and more of your content.
So you can find my personal Twitter, which is ISA_KOLE.
Hold on, I've got to ask this because everyone always asks you this when you're on their podcast. Is it Isacole or Icicle?
So it's Isacole, because it's
Okay.
Isabel and Cole put together.
Gotcha.
Which is actually what I'm legally changing my name to. Because little unknown fact, I actually deal with childhood PTSD. If you use my real legal name at a certain volume or a certain tone, I will have a panic attack, and I am unable to speak. I go pale. I can't breathe. So I'm actually legally changing my name. So,
Because I've heard so many different iterations of it, and it's like I've always looked at
no
it
one
as
ever gets it right.
icicle. It's icicles, icicles. Hey, frozen, yeah.
No, it's Isabel Cole, because I'm changing my name to
Gotcha.
Isabel Cole Martin. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Good
It's
question,
official.
Nate.
it's Cole.
Yeah, Isacole.
It's a good question. And thank you for
But,
sharing that.
All right, continue.
So you can also find me on Bad Destiny Joke, which is where I put out really bad jokes about Destiny. I think I made one about Twizzler thongs yesterday. And
I like
then
Twizzlers too.
Shaq's Motivation, which is where I talk as Shaq's. You can also find me on my personal website, which is, I even say my own name wrong, isakole.com.
Wait, no underscore in that?
No, the guy that has my name hasn't tweeted, never tweeted. In the 17 years he's had this stupid account, and I can't get it. And it's, but yeah, so that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. You can find more of us, Guardians Mental Health. You can find us on our Twitter, Guardians MH, on our Twitch. Gmail, you can actually, we don't have a Gmail anymore. It's actually our direct nonprofits email, which is support@guardiansmh.org. You can listen to us on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us on there. And actually, just as last week, we just got back onto iTunes. We had a hiccup and we were off for a little while, and we're back on. And that anxiety is gone. And that's it. Thank you for hanging out with us and listening, and we will catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ah.
Bye.
Reject.